Greens leader Christine Milne joins us now from Parliament House. Senator Milne, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Well, the government is willing to embrace Nauru. The opposition leader wants to increase the refugee intake to $20,000. There's compromise there. Why won't the Greens budge?
Well, the Greens have said we would today increase the humanitarian intake to take the pressure off people in Indonesia and take the pressure off them feeling as if they have no choice but to board boats. So we would do that today. We would pour money into Indonesia to help process people more quickly. We would make sure that our search and rescue people are actually going to go and anticipate and see when boats are in trouble. There are so many things we could do. We've put to the Prime Minister to convene a leadership group to try to find a long-term regional solution to this issue. But unfortunately, what we've got before us is something which actually makes the situation worse. Because I guess the question is, do you want to provide a safe pathway for people to come to Australia when they are seeking asylum here? If we want to do that and save lives, we can do that. Or do you want to send people away out of sight, out of mind, contrary to our global obligations?
That's a roundabout way of saying you will reject this bill in the Senate despite those suggestions you're offering. You also concede, and we have reports of a third boat in a week now in distress in Indonesian waters. The concept, the policy of onshore processing is encouraging people to jump into these boats at an increasingly rapid clip and put their lives at risk.
Well, that's because they're desperate. They feel like there is no hope. There's no clarity about how they're going to be processed, how long they're going to be in camps. And it's not a quick fix here. After John Howard introduced temporary protection visas, everyone thought, oh, that's a quick fix. But 353 people drowned on the CivX after that policy was put in place. There's a desperation here for let's just do anything. Let's just have any quick fix because it'll look as if we're doing something. But what the Greens want to do is actually save lives. We want to stop people feeling so desperate that they have to get on a boat, and that means actually taking people, more people from Indonesia. There are 8,000 people in camps in Indonesia. If we increased our humanitarian intake in Australia, then we would reduce the pressure. If we actually told people in those camps that they had a pathway to Australia, then the pressure goes off them. But instead of that, the whole thing here is let's deter them, let's send them away, let's just get rid of them. And for Chris Bowen to talk about which countries he'd send them to, actually seeking asylum is something we are obliged to take when under our refugee convention.
What's preferable, trying out this deterral option, as you put it, giving offshore processing a go, or seeing another 90 people die, as we've seen in the last week?
Well, we saw the very cruel offshore processing under John Howard. We saw billions spent on the so-called Pacific solution.
That was the past, Christine Milne. 90 people, 90 refugees, including women and children, have died over the past week. What do you think when you see body bags brought to Christmas Island?
I'm horrified by that, and I'm also offended that you would think anyone would be sitting here thinking it was okay for people to drown.
No one thinks it's okay. I don't think it's okay. You
don't
think it's okay. Tony Abbott doesn't think it's okay. The Prime Minister doesn't think it's okay. There is a pressing need advanced by both the major parties to get some solution, a short-term solution. A multi-party committee will take months. It's admirable. All sides of politics agree with that. The process of establishing greater onshore facilities will take some time. But that's not going to stop people hopping on boats in the short term. Don't you agree, Christine Milne, that there has to be some degree of compromise by all parties today to solve this issue?
If you announce today that you are taking several thousand people from camps in Indonesia and putting them into Australia, you would find that people wouldn't be getting onto boats. So the issue is a safer pathway for people that will stop them feeling desperate and having to get on boats. That's the issue, and that's what we want to do to make sure people know what their pathway to Australia is and it's safe, and that's what we'll be putting to the Parliament. Let's actually take the pressure off people and do the right thing instead of pretending you're doing the right thing when you're actually saying, OK, we just want to send you out of sight, out of mind. And this bill allows the minister to send people to Iran, Iraq, Afghanistan, Syria. I mean, this is not a solution.
But the opposition leader, as you well know, is offering to up the refugee intake by 6,000 or 7,000. Surely, you know, that is reaching out. Can't you at least go halfway there in the great sense of compromise?
Well, I think it's fantastic that the opposition's prepared to do that. Admittedly, it's over 3 years. We would like it to be each year, but nevertheless, it's a great issue. And what I'd like to see is the coalition supporters today in the Senate in moving to do just that. Let's actually send that signal today that we will take more people, because at the moment we only take 60 people, 60 from Indonesia and Malaysia each year. Is it any wonder people feel desperate and think they've got no hope of getting here? And that's why they're forced onto the boats. If we actually said, hey, let's take a few thousand people and tell people in the camps that that's what we're about to do, that would take the pressure off the boats. Again,
we're still trying to clarify the actual circumstances of this third boat. The boats are still coming. Senator Milne, is there any way you could see you'd compromise on the bill currently before the Senate today?
What we want to see happen is a safe pathway and to take the pressure off desperate people coming on boats, and that's what we'll be moving to do. But we will not be supporting a bill which actually makes the situation worse. It's actually a sleight of hand to say to the Australian people, oh, we're doing something that will be a quick fix. It will not. But in order to save people's lives, we have to make sure, first of all, with that boat in distress today, that our search and rescue people are there and actually anticipate it and not wait until people are in the water.
Yeah, so just to clarify, and it's going to be a very emotional day in the Senate today. We all saw what happened on the House floor yesterday. Lives are being lost. Politicians feel very deeply about it. You feel very deeply about it. There is no way, in the sense of compromise, this is the last sitting day before a long 6-week winter's break, with more boats likely to come in that period. There is no way the Greens will budge on the bill currently before the Senate.
We won't be supporting the bill before the Senate, but we certainly have a proactive initiative there to say, let's today in the Parliament increase the numbers we take and take the pressure off those camps in Indonesia, and therefore not make people feel as if they have no choice. But at the same time, I would like today to have prioritised safety of life at sea.
OK, Christine Milne on Canberra, we'll leave it there. Thank you.
Thank you.